مرحبا وأهلا وسهلا فيكم بدرس جديد. Hello and welcome to a new lesson. This lesson is going to be about Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, and about Eid. Not just what you need to say, as in common greetings and common phrases for Eid and so on, but also we're going to be going through important vocabulary and verbs like to fast and to break the fast. Lots of examples. So even if you're in an intermediate or advanced level, you'll still find this interesting and useful at the same time. Let's begin. يلا نبلش. Firstly, what to say when Ramadan starts. شو بنقول لما يبلش رمضان؟ أول شيء, first of all, Ramadan Kareem. Ramadan Kareem. It's kind of like when you say happy Ramadan, or when you use English phrases like happy Christmas, happy Easter. So Ramadan Kareem. Kareem actually means generous or bountiful or gracious. So in another way, you're kind of saying, may your Ramadan observance be a generous or a bountiful occasion. Another famous greeting is Ramadan Mubarak. So Ramadan Mubarak. So at the beginning of Ramadan, we say Ramadan Mubarak. So may it be holy or blessed. And Barakah actually means blessing. So hence Ramadan Mubarak. Okay, and we also say ينعاد عليك, addressing a male. So ينعاد means may it return again, or may it repeat again. عليك, that means literally for you, addressing a male. And you can use this sentence or this phrase for any type of occasion or festivity, like New Year, Eid, Christmas, even a birthday. So you can say ينعاد عليك. ينعاد عليكي, that means may it return again for you, addressing a female. So عليك for a male, عليكي for a female. So this is the possessive pronoun at the end. Addressing the plural, ينعاد عليكم. ينعاد عليكم. In English, I think you would say something as many more returns or something like that. So ينعاد عليكم in Lebanese. You can also add to the phrase or to the sentence and make it longer. ينعاد عليكم بالصحة والسلامة. For example, صحة means health and سلامة means safety. So may it return again for you with health and safety, literally. Or you can say ينعاد عليكم بالخير والبركة, just another way. خير is goodness, as in when you say صباح الخير, مساء الخير. So خير is goodness, and بركة means blessing. Useful Ramadan phrases and expressions in Levantine Lebanese colloquial spoken Arabic. This is the important part of the lesson. How to say I'm fasting. So the verb itself is verb Şaam with the sad, not the sa, the sa, the emphatic sa. Okay, and the active participle from Şaam is صايم. In Standard Arabic, صائم, but in Colloquial Arabic we change or we swap the hamza for a ya. So صايم. أنا صايم. If you're a male, as in the speaker is a male. أنا صايمة. صايمة with the round ta المربوطة for a female. نحن صايمين. We are fasting. Sorry for the typo here. نحن صايمين. We are fasting. And to ask someone if they're fasting, صايم أو أنت صايم. Sometimes we add she at the end when we're asking yes or no questions in Lebanese. So you can simply say صايم she. That means are you fasting? Note again that we're using the active participle because in colloquial, we rely heavily on participles. So for this type of action, we mostly use the active participle, especially when it's in the continuous, progressive. Saimi, we can say inti saimi or just simply saimi. Or you can say saimi shi. Are you fasting? Saimin, into saimin. Saimin shi, same thing in the plural. Now, iftar obviously is the time to break the fast at sunset. And it's the first meal after having fasted all day. Iftar with the emphatic ta, not ta, iftar. So to ask when is the time for iftar, amteen. Amteen is a question tool that means when. Amteen al-iftar. Amteen al-iftar. For example, let's say there's half an hour till iftar. We say ba'i. Ba'i is also an active participle that we commonly use when we're speaking about time, when there's a certain amount of time left. باقي نص ساعة للإفطار. نص is half, ساعة is an hour. So it's half an hour remains literally till إفطار. باقي نص ساعة للإفطار. لا is 2 or 4. For example, if you have an appointment, you're going, let's say, to the doctors, you can say باقي نص ساعة لموعدي. So there's half an hour left till my appointment. شو فطرت اليوم? What did you have for iftar today? From verb fatar. Fatar actually means to break something. So in this context, it means to break your fast, i.e. to eat. شو فطرت اليوم? يعني أنت فطرت. So this is a conjugation for أنت, addressing a male. Addressing a female, we always add the e. شو فطرتي اليوم? شو أكلتي? شو شربتي, etc. You're always gonna hear that sound at the end, the e. Where will you have iftar today? وين راح تفطر today? اليوم. وين راح تفطر اليوم? Where are you going to break your fast today? So we're using the verb. And we're using راح for the future, the particle that we use for the future tense. You can say راح as in a particle before the present tense verb, which is kind of similar to will in English, or you can simply say ha, use the prefix ha. وين حتفطر اليوم? Now addressing a female, we're gonna use the e sound. وين راح تفطري اليوم? تفطري. وين راح تفطري اليوم? Let's say the reply is I will have iftar at home. راح افطر بالبيت. راح افطر بالبيت. When is sahur? So in Standard Arabic, it's actually a sahur, sahur with fatha, but in colloquial we say sahur or suhoor. In colloquial Arabic, we commonly use the dhamma instead for some reason. So sahur is actually the time to eat before fasting starts. So at the end of the night, just before dawn. So just before dawn comes up, it's time to have a meal in order to prepare yourself for a long day of fasting. Amteen is suhoor. Amteen is suhoor. When is it time for suhoor? And it's nice to say when someone is having the iftar, صوم مقبول إن شاء الله. So صوم is the gerund from the verb صام. صام يصوم is the verb, and the verbal noun masdar or gerund is صوم أو صيام. Both are the same. So we can say صوم مقبول إن شاء الله. مقبول means accepted. Okay, so it's a passive participle meaning accepted. And inshallah is actually a contraction from insha'Allah. So inshallah is just a contraction that we use in Lebanese for that. Verb to fast with examples. So verb to fast in colloquial, Levantine Lebanese, Arabic, spoken Arabic with examples. And that would be Şaam. If you'd like to check any Arabic verb in a dictionary, you always have to revert it back to simply he did, that is in the past tense, and for the third person masculine singular. Now, in the present tense, it's يصوم. How would we know that it's Şaam, يصوم, for example, and not يصيم? Because we know that, for example, يقول, and it's a similar weak verb, weak hollow verb, that is the middle letter is a vowel. And at the same time, for example, بيع, يبيع. So يقول, راح يروح, but بيع يبيع. So how would you know? Or for example, فاق, to wake up, يفيق. The logical way to do that is to check in the dictionary again. Number one, the present tense. So the dictionary will give you يصوم, and number two is the gerund. So that would be صوم. In this case, we have two gerunds, but the present tense also tells us that it's يصوم, so we definitely know that it's a wow. Any alif in Arabic in a weak verb, that is a verb that has one or two letters that are a vowel, that's the definition of a weak verb. So any alif will originally go back to either a waw or a ya. For example, in this case, it was sa wa ma. And for example, بيع, to sell, يبيع, that would have been بياعة. But it changed to Şaam. So the only way to know is by going back to the dictionary and verifying, or by asking maybe a native speaker, or through examples. In this case, Şaam, يصوم, now we know that. In the imperative, صوم, for example, صوم شهر Ramadan, fast, the month of Ramadan. The active participle, صايم. In standard, we say صائم. You might hear صائم in standard, but in colloquial, we swap the hamza often for a ya, so صايم. And as I mentioned, we have two gerunds, and that's fine, صيام or صوم. And sometimes for the same verb, you would have more than one gerund. Some examples using the different tenses. أحمد صام شهر رمضان كله. أحمد صام شهر رمضان كله. So Ahmad fasted the month of Ramadan, literally all of it. So he fasted all of Ramadan. Manal صامت. So Ahmad صام, Manal صامت. Okay, she fasted. صامت شهر رمضان كله. أنا صمت شهر رمضان كله. أنا صمت شهر رمضان كله. So for أنا, we say صمت. Now in the present tense, أحمد بيصوم من الفجر للمغرب. So أحمد fasts from dawn till sunset. أحمد بيصوم من الفجر للمغرب. منال بتصوم من الفجر للمغرب. منال بتصوم من الفجر للمغرب. أنا بصوم من الفجر للمغرب. أنا بصوم من الفجر للمغرب. Now what to say when it's Eid, or when it's Eid with the A. So Eid al-Fitr. Fitr means breaking of the fast. Eid as a noun itself refers to any type of festive celebration. So we can say Eid al-Milad, Christmas. Eid Ras al-Sini, New Year. Eid al-Fusah, so it's Easter. Eid Milad al-Yom, it's my birthday today, for example. So Eid refers to any type of festivity. And then over here we have the annexation, al-Fitr, which defines what type of Eid it is. In standard Arabic, it's al-Fitr, Eid al-Fitr, but in colloquial we say al-Fitr, commonly speaking. We can also say Eid Mubarak. Earlier we said Ramadan Mubarak. Now we can say Eid Mubarak. And we can say كل سنة وأنتم بخير. So that means may you find goodness every year. May every year you be good or well. Khair is goodness, as in صباح الخير, مساء الخير, and so on. So كل سنة, every year. وأنتم بخير, and you are good. That's the very literal meaning. And of course, you can change the pronoun وإنت or إنتي. So وإنت addressing a male, كل سنة وإنت بخير. كل سنة وإنت بخير addressing a female. And we can use the same expressions that we used earlier on. ينعاد عليكم. So ينعاد عليك for a male, ينعاد عليكي for a female, ينعاد عليكم for the plural. And you can add بالصحة والسلامة, بالخير والبركة, so on. You can add things to make your sentence longer. Now, عيدية is a monetary gift or money given during Eid from the adults in the family to the little children. And that money is typically used to get sweets, crackers, tickets to fairs, or to save it or to buy whatever they want. عيدية. عيدية. الكبار بيعطوا الصغار عيدية بالعيد. الكبار بيعطوا الصغار عيدية بالعيد. So adults or grown-ups give the little ones عيدية during Eid time. شكراً للمتابعة وشكراً لانتباهكم. إذا عندكم أي أسئلة please اكتبون بالcomments. If you have any questions please drop them in the write them in the comments box. Merci.